Hello everybody, my name is Augustine Como. I am a Louisiana French Creole. I've been on YouTube before, and I'm going to say this is probably my 12th or 14th video. Basically, my emphasis is on Louisiana French Creole culture, the mulatto experience, and the Creole experience. This YouTube video is to clarify just basically what a Creole is, and basically that we are different in the sense that we all are not the same. Starting from the very beginning, I can tell you that Creole culture and Creole people were here, not in America, but were alive and in existence way before Columbus came to America. The Portuguese and the French were slave traders in Africa in the 15th century. Somewhere around 1480, 1490, the Portuguese created or developed a colony in Africa, West Africa, called Elvira. Elvira was a community of mixed race people. People that were a product of the relationship between the African woman and the Portuguese man. The reason for this colony called Elvira was because the Portuguese needed people that thought like them, that could experience what they could experience, but that were knowledgeable and strong like those people of the African race. So they developed a separate race or a separate group of ethnic people to help them along in their conquest of the New World. This colony, Elvira, was the beginning of basically the Creole introduction into the New World. There is a book published called The Atlantic Creole. I'm not familiar with the author at this particular point, but if you pick this book up and you read it, it will give you all the information, the hindsight you know, because I feel that when you're here and you're talking to people about culture and about specific things, you need to be on the button and you need to know what you're saying. It's not a guessing game. It's not what someone thinks, but it's what's fact. That is the beginning of our Creole culture, basically. Now, Creole people are indigenous to the New World. Why would I say that? Because we are a mixed race people that only occurs here, not only in America, but in the New World. We're a combination of African, Caucasian, French Caucasian, and English, and Native American. That makes us multiracial. But I would say the right name for that would be mulatto and not mixed race. Mixed race can mean a mixture of anything other than African as well. But I consider us to be a mulatto, a mixed race people that only come here in the New World. Creoles can be found in North America. They can be found in all the islands in the Caribbean. They're in Puerto Rico. They're in South America. They're in Cuba. The word Creole, in a sense, means native to the land. It means to be or to originate from your land or the land that you are in. It means that you're native to the soil and you're not someone that comes from somewhere else. It's a difficult word to understand because a lot of people use it, but they don't know what it means. And a Creole is not someone that says he is. A Creole is someone that is a bona fide Creole that has a Creole culture. I have right here a series of books that I read, that I have read, and it kind of clarifies what I'm telling you. This book here, it's a hardback. It's called the Dictionary of Louisiana Creole. This language inside of this book is a Creole language. It's not an American language. And it's not a French language. It's a Latin language. And it derives not from America's contact or Louisiana's contact with the French and Africans. It comes from Africa. It's a result of the slave trade. It's a result of the contact of the French and the Portuguese in Africa. This language is a combination of African and French. And it was developed by the African people over there, whom were a little different than just those that came before them. So number one, Creole people enjoy a separate language. So hopefully you can understand that. Number two, there's a book here. It's published by Sybil Kine, and it's called The History and Legacy of the Louisiana Free People of Color. It's called Creole. This book will give you a history of the Creole American. Again, Creole people are not Cajuns. There is a difference, and African Americans are not Creoles. Cajun people are Caucasian, white European people that have their roots in Nova Scotia, which is in Canada. When the English defeated the French in the Canadian Wars, they asked these French Canadians to swear allegiance to the British Crown. Those that refused to do so, that were from Arcadia, which is Nova Scotia, were expelled, and they were sent to other parts of the world, some back to France, some to the east coast of America, and a lot of them wound up in Louisiana. A Creole is not a Cajun, and a Cajun is not a Creole. I'm mixed with Cajun. That's where the name Como comes from. But I am separate in the sense I have African ancestry in me. And that's what makes us different. So hopefully we have that one cleared up. Okay, there's another book here. It's called Favorite Creole Recipes. Creole people have a culinary appetite that is different than African Americans. Gumbo is an authentic Afro-Creole dish. It has its origins in America, in Louisiana, not in colonial European America. Jambalaya, red beans and rice, etouffee, I can go on and on, are all original Creole food. This separates us. This gives us a distinct difference. This makes us different than the African American, because that is part of our unique culture. So there you have it. We have our language, we have our food, and basically we have our culture. This book here is called Africans in Colonial Louisiana. It's published by Louisiana State University, and its author is Gwendolyn Midlo Hall. She talks about the African experience in Louisiana. New Orleans, a French city that belonged to New France, which was a French country, was established in 1718. And from 1719 on, there was an introduction of African slaves into the colony. So we go back a long time. These slaves spoke Creole French. These slaves enjoyed a different political and cultural environment that existed in European, or we'll say colonial America. The laws are different. The black codes were enacted that allowed them a little bit more freedom. I discussed it in my other videos. And so they were, in a sense, raised in a different environment, raised in a foreign environment, a Latin culture, and they were different. And that's what makes Creole people who we are.